Oops. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about the grain of salt. All right, David, welcome to the crew. Welcome to the freaking crew. Let's get caught up in what the heck is going on. Let's catch up on AMC. Trying not to let my shirt bother you too much, but it is what it is. So, without further ado, AMC, good old AMC, as you know, the fave, is doing pretty good. AMC was up 0.44% on the day. We are right at the edge of this pennant formation right here, right? Now, so tomorrow in the pre-market, or maybe at some point during the day, I'm expecting to see some kind of movement, right? We're either going to break bullishly or bearishly. And then even if we break, whichever way we break, we're going to be looking at our levels of support and or resistance, right? So if we break bullishly, just to get everyone prepared for it, we break bullishly, we're going to look for another test of probably that $60, right? And if we break that $60, we're going to be looking to hold so we can break finally through, even if we break 60. So we'll break $60, hopefully we can hold, and then we're going to have another test over here around $63. That's what we're going to be looking for to break, because that's been our biggest freaking struggle that's been going on, right? And if we break bearishly, even then we have a few levels of support down here, maybe around $53, but realistically, if it kind of breaks through pretty bearishly and, it's pretty rough and they're shorting heavily tomorrow, whatever may happen tomorrow, it may be possible where we go back down to that, $51 level, $52 of level of support, right? And that's what we're going to be looking for. So realistically, the $51 level of support has actually been holding very strongly. It's been looking freaking fantastic. So knock on wood, and hopefully it continues to stay that way. And so that's what I think we're looking at a little more microscopically. So once again, AMC did end at $56.68 on the day. Currently in the after hours, we are at $57.06, up 0.67% here in the after hours. We still do have 50 minutes in the after hours to see which way it goes. So that'll be pretty great. And I see people debating if it's green or red or something. So far it's looking green and green, at least here on Webull. GameStop. So GameStop was up 1.55% on the day, ending at $214.14. Currently in the after hours, up 0.2%. Still at $214.58. Okay. GameStop realistically just constantly battling this level of support and resistance around $212, right? It's a level of resistance. Now it looks like it's a level of support. And so we'll see if it continues to be a level of support or resistance for tomorrow. But right now, just kind of a lot of consolidation in this area. Kind of a downward trending consolidation, if that's even a thing, but it's but regardless, really kind of hanging on. It seems like the head goes below water for a little bit and it tries to climb back on board, and so it's struggling to stay above water. Realistically, still up, at a pretty good dang point. And if it does break through, guess what? I will be buying the dip, right? I'm gonna find some money and I will buy the dip. I would not mind, as much as I would love for it to go up. If it does dip, I would definitely take a position, hopefully around, 180 or something, just adding to my position, averaging up. But you know what? I think at the end of the day, it will be worth it. I did want to take a look at a few of these stocks. We have been looking at a few of them. I think Wish is kind of off my table right now, but ATOS. So ATOS is one that people, came in and the ATOS is life, ATOS. And some people saying it's a shill, some people this, but you don't know what's going to be a pump and dump and what is actually there, right? As you saw, it ran up. That person I don't think that person is really in the chat anymore, who was really promoting it. And, just kind of dumped. And granted, whenever we first saw it, it was right around here. And I said, you know what, based on the setup, if it does break through, it can be pretty bullish. And it did, go pretty bullish for two more days. And then it just dumped. And it's been dumping down 12%, 12.46 or 12.47% on the day, to back down to $6.32, all the way from $9.80, right? Another one that we're looking at is Mayrin, right? Mayrin was running up, had a huge run, and now it's retracing, right? We see these days, and this is why I don't chase stocks. The title of this video is actually going to be I don't chase stocks, but realistically, I think the Robinhood thing is a little more in line with kind of what's going on with the theme of the channel. But you know, me not chasing this stock, you know, I don't chase stocks for this exact reason, because if I would have hopped in, I would have gotten in, you know, even if you would have, well, regardless, whenever you would have chased it, unless you got in super early back here, you could be bag holding, and I don't want to be bag holding. I'd rather stick to my stock that I've been studying and I understand, rather than try to chase all these stocks, bag hold. Okay, that's okay. Jump into another stock, chase it, bag hold, and just continue to bag hold. So I decided I'm not going to chase it. And you know, maybe this will recover. Maybe this will in a week or two, it'll squeeze and it'll go to $100. Who knows what'll happen? But again, just not something I'm interested in touching. But I did want to touch on that really quick. Speaking of who's been moving big, let's see who the top gainers of the day, right? Let's see who's been doing good in the one day, who did crazy. Oh my gosh, these people are at 405%. Did they IPO or something? Usually whenever they're crazy, yeah, whenever there's something crazy like this, it's an IPO. That does seem to be the case here. So let's go ahead and go back to my list that I was looking at. The top, so that was an IPO. Let's see if there's anything we recognize. Newegg, I do recognize here, up 78% on the day. Cool, very cool. Anything else I recognize? No, nothing that I recognize. Let's see about losers, right? Always curious about the losers. Mayrin, you know, from a top winner to a top loser, right? Yikes. That's all I really see here. No problem. Let me say hi to the chat, and I want to take a look at the Ortex data. I almost said Apex data. Ortex data. I got AMC on the mind. I want to take a look at the Ortex data. I do want to talk about that Robinhood article. We got some interesting stuff today. So Lee, yo, Diamond first after Lee. I don't know if that works, but all right. If you ain't first, you're last. That's, man, you just make that up. Diamond says freaking AMC with that clutch in the last minute to green. Going green in the last minute, gotta love it. Sam, what's up, Diamond Hand fam? What's up, Sam? Hamza, hey bro. Dog, we are on a roller coaster ride to consolidation the last couple of weeks. Love it. I love the consolidation. For me, this consolidation is basically a bunch of levels of support, right? Just level support, and just staying strong, saying, you know what, we like $50. We like this stock at $50, right? This is a solid stock to hold at $50 is what it just says to me, right? So let's look at the 1 month here, and we can see this, right? Look at this. The stock is saying, you know what, we had a big run, so we'll retrace a little bit. Okay, I understand, respect. And then it's just been consolidating. And right here, you can see right here, just bouncing off this 51 constantly, especially in the last few weeks, right? This has been since for the last, we'll call it 2 weeks, just been solid above there. And I love it. Right now, as you can see here, we're about to break. We're really at the wire right here, breaking in, coming down this little wedge, right? And we're gonna have a breakthrough. We no doubt about tomorrow there's gonna be some kind of breakthrough. Now granted, maybe it won't be some crazy breakthrough, but maybe it'll look like more consolidation, where it's maybe a little even tighter or something, or maybe a little more wild, where we might be able to extend this out or something. But either way, tomorrow there are some catalysts actually that we can look forward to in the next 7 days, is what I'll say. And that's probably, if you've been looking at the DD, if you're on the subreddits, that's probably a huge giveaway as to what I'm talking about. But we'll go into it and see what's going on. Ginger, welcome. Ginger says, can we get over 100, please? I think it's coming. I freaking think it's coming. My spirit animal, cheetah, no patience. Eric, what's up, my friend? What are your thoughts on the DD that came out today on the hedge funds converting bonds into shares to short AMC further? We're going to talk about that as well. Yes. John, what's up? Lurking. So since they are converting bonds into shares, that is increasing the total outstanding float, right? That would make sense to me, right? If they are converting those bonds into shares, you know, creating more shares. Now, I think it's just using up that, maybe that, just buying up the float, right? And now, I don't know, Corey looking blurry. Oh, it's just this shirt. Hey, what's up, Matt? Welcome, my friend. What's up, Alexi? It's just this shirt. It's this crazy shirt. Oh, okay. I was blurry. Maybe my internet was acting weird. Dione? Yeah, I think Dione. Hedges are trying to bore us out. They 100% are trying to bore us out. I have no doubt about that. Trying to scare us, trying to bore us, trying to do whatever they can to make us get out. That's their Hail Mary, right? That's what I think their Hail Mary is. Peter, I don't know if I said $157. I may have misspoke, and I apologize. Here's the deal, though, you know, and I see some people talking about being bored and stuff. You know what? Angelina, welcome. Being bored, I'll tell you what, I'll be bored all day. If someone said, hey, you know, you're going to be bored for a little bit, but, you know, there's just make an arbitrary percentage, right? Yeah, you'll be bored a little bit, but there's a, you know, say a 20% chance, right? And I don't think it's 20. I think it's way higher than that. But let's say you say, oh, you know, there's a 20% chance that, oh, if you just don't do anything, you just sit here and leave your money in here, there's a, you know, 20% chance that you'll just become a millionaire, be able to retire, you know, super early and stuff. So, or you can just pull your money out and just live your same life that you're living now. Like, if those are my options, I have I'll hold all day. I'll hold all year just in case, right? So I have no problem with that. I'll hold all day, and they don't understand that, right? Remember, these guys are not used to dealing with apes. They're used to dealing with traditional retail investors who, if the stock drops, you know, 10%, they're like, all right, well, trigger my stop loss, or you know what, I'd rather cut losses early and stuff, which are real and tried and true trading strategies. All right, do not get me wrong, but in the event of a short squeeze like we're in, I think it just takes diamond hands, right? That's what the DD has been telling us. That's what we've seen. We've seen the results of diamond hands of what it can do, right? We went from $5, $10, 14, 20, 30. We're at $56 right now, 57 in the hour after hours. You think I can't hold? Dang right, I can hold. I hold no problem. I hold all day. Diamond says, leave the stock chasing to me, Corey. Diamond, I will leave the stock chasing to you. And I hope you make a freaking lot of money, but I just can't. Diane, I would like to apologize because I know yesterday, as soon as you found the S3, we're going to talk about the S3 today, but as soon as you found it, like, I was off and stuff, and I was like, oh gosh, but thank you. Let's see, yeah. But I have articles pulled up on Reddit, so we'll kind of take a look at a little bit and kind of go through that stuff. But thank you. David says, I made $2 on one share of Marin, jumped in and out the next day. Smart, right? Quick moves. J-Rock says, chasing is a bad idea. I don't chase. It's one of my rules. I have, like, you know, little rules, and I just can't. Ooh, Angelina says, the only bag I will hold is a Fendi. I like that. Can't Stop Won't Stop GameStop says, what blows my mind is the people who are still in robbing crook. I mean, what the heck? You know, yeah, I just worry for people who are in Robinhood. If you're in Robinhood, I mean, just make your own decisions, but it's not worth it to me, right? Remember, these guys, this violation that we're going to look at, is not even a, hey, what's up, Ryan G? This violation isn't even about GameStop and AMC, I don't think. It's about just what they do as a company, right? About how they just, you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't do anything. This is with, I believe it's probably mostly crypto that we're seeing it with. But imagine if they do that. You're not allowed to buy or sell in AMC, because previously in January, as we knew, we could all sell, no problem, but you could not buy. Still, in my opinion, not a good move, not a good look for Robinhood, especially the way they handled it. On top of that, last time, sure, you were allowed to sell, but this time, if it's going to be a business decision, right? I don't believe that they're having maybe for crypto, I guess I could say I could give them the benefit of the doubt and saying, sure, maybe they do have some kind of technical issues since crypto is relatively new to their platform, yada, yada. But you know what? I'm not willing to risk it. If Citadel if they are colluding with Citadel or whatever, who knows if they are or aren't, you make your own decisions. But if they are colluding with Citadel says, hey, okay, so you're going to get a $70,000 fine or $70 million fine. But you know what? We'll pay you $200 million to go ahead and just don't let anyone buy or sell. All right. Or don't let, whatever they're going to do. Then just imagine what they could and couldn't do. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure I'm overthinking this, but I don't know. I know this shirt is looking crazy. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. What's up, Peter? Sorry, Galaxy. Sorry about the shirt. Just don't look in my eyes. Open your notepad and just put it over my face like that, and just put it over my face and just block me out. Here, maybe oh gosh. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. I just got to move real fast. Anyways, sorry. Let's take a look at Ortex. All right, so Ortex. So Ortex, a little bit of changes. So let's take a look. So the shares on loan is currently 100 million. We finally broke 100 million shares again. Actually, I'm curious how the shares on loan looked previously. On loan, number of loans? No, this is not right. Days to cover on loan. 153 million. Okay. So before the move, we were around, for the big move, we'll call it 125 million, right? And this is down here, right? Whenever it started to go crazy. And so we'll call it, this is around $12. We'll say $12, $13. And there was about 125 million shares on loan. And on top of that, the utilization was also, not utilization, I'm sorry, I misspoke. The short interest was also, let's just do one thing at a time. Was also high, right? So currently our short interest is 18.39%. Did go down, down just a tad from, it was at 19%. And this morning, I think it was at 19.14%, something like that. So it did go down just a tad. We can see the borrow did change. So they did return more shares than they borrowed today. It's really not reflective in the price action. It's so freaking weird, these numbers. But you know what? These are small numbers compared to what is actually going on. It's strange because even the return, the borrowed and the shared, and this number still let me just be a little more specific. The borrow change was negative 4.14 million, right? But the shares on loan, I wonder if this is a different number. Maybe they're not correlated, but shares on loan still went up, which seems a little backwards to me. But either way, everything is still looking rock solid. I mean, short interest is still very, very, very high. The record high that we had was 19.64%. And again, we're currently at 18.39%, right? So, I mean, we're not far off. This could be a day or two, or a week, right? Or a week or two. to get all the way back up there. But based on the way we've been moving, I mean, we jumped 4% in a day one time. We went from 14 all the way to 18 in a day. So, and just kind of updated, right? It wasn't, I guess, I don't know if it wasn't reflecting properly or they found something, and then it just skyrocketed. So these things can move very quickly, but I'm just so bullish on what's going on. So let's actually talk about Robinhood first, and we'll talk about something else. So Robinhood slapped with the biggest ever penalty by Wall Street regulator. So from my understanding, it's actually FINRA who, we'll read a part of this article. So Robinhood is being ordered to pay about $70 million for harming millions of customers. It's the largest penalty ever imposed by Wall Street's self-regulator, I believe FINRA. Or no, I think 50 million is going to FINRA. Here it is down here. So the controversial trading app was accused Wednesday by the Financial Industrial Regulatory Authority of systemic supervisory failures and hurting investors by giving them false or misleading information. FINRA's sanctions on Robinhood, well, let's see if... Okay, we'll just go ahead and read through this. FINRA's sanctions on Robinhood focus on large-scale systems outages that hit the platform in March of 2020, as well as the options trading procedures at the heart of a lawsuit filed by the family of a 20-year-old Robinhood trader who died by suicide last year. And for those of you who don't know the story, it's a tragic freaking story, absolutely tragic. There was a kid, man, some freaking kid, and I don't know if he figured out a glitch, or I think actually what happened was Robinhood glitched. And it said, man, it's so sad. It said that he owed $700,000, right? And Robinhood system said he owed $700,000. He tried to call, he tried to get in contact with them same day. Couldn't reach a single person. Tried all, I don't know how long he tried. I'm sure he tried all freaking day, frantically. Tried all day. Couldn't reach anyone. And unfortunately committed suicide. And, turns out it was a freaking glitch. He did not owe $700,000. It was just incorrect in the app, right? So, just super unfortunate, man. Just like, gosh, unfortunate on so many fronts. Like, on so many fronts. I'll just kind of leave that as is because I'll talk about that all day. On both sides, right? There's the Robinhood side and there's this kid's side, of whether he suffered from depression or, should have like just spoken to somebody and said, look, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is true or false or what, should have spoken to somebody. But, it's just unfortunate regardless, right? And Robinhood got a lot of heat for that. Even during the congressional hearings, someone called because they brought that up in the congressional hearings, and Vlad, good old Vlad right here, said, the CEO said, oh, well, we've solved that. If you call now, you get a person immediately. And the guy who was questioning Vlad, one of the representatives, he says, oh, this number, he calls it on the air, puts it on the mic, and straight to like a voicemail or no one answers. And it was like, okay, so that number that supposedly is, for situations like this, and no one is answering. They ask you to email or something. So just rough. So let's go ahead and continue. The fine imposed in this matter is the highest ever levied by FINRA, reflects the scope and seriousness of Robinhood's violations. Jessica Hopper, head of FINRA's Department of Enforcement, said in a statement, FINRA fined Robinhood $57 million and ordered the startup to pay about $12.6 million in restitution, plus interest to thousands of harmed customers. Robinhood never admitted nor denied the charges. I guess that's the end. Well, it keeps on going, but I mean, super interesting. Oh, they talk about the Robinhood IPO. I wonder when this is going to come out. That's going to be extremely interesting to. Robinhood filed confidentially for an IPO in March. I think actually their IPO was delayed because of. Yeah, see, the SEC has repeatedly expressed concerns about inherent conflicts of interest, which we've seen, right? Their biggest client is freaking Citadel. Like, please. um, conflicts of interest that exist in the payment for order flow business model used by Robinhood and its brokerages that don't charge commission, and other brokerages that don't charge commissions, right? These brokerages that don't charge commissions, like, they're making money one way or another. If the product is free, you're the product, right? That's a pretty basic understanding of most everything. Facebook, perfect example, easiest example you could use, right? And everyone totally understands that, I think, whenever you say that. So yes, that's kind of what's going on here. Huge deal. This is great, right? 70 million. I feel like this, I don't know their business model. I don't know how much this is going to hurt. And it sounds like a lot of money, right? $70 million is not one of these $10,000 DTCC fines, or whoever's doing the fines, SEC fines that Citadel's been having to pay, right? 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Who cares, right? I mean, it takes a lot of 10,000s to become a million. And, but $70 million in total after everything sounds pretty freaking rough, right? And I think they need these bigger penalties to truly force change. If you want to force change, you have to give harsher penalties, right? Larger dollar amounts, strikes against you, where if you get enough strikes, you can't trade for X amount of time, or you have to do, something happens. I'm sure there's a million things you can fill in between there, and eventually jail time, right? If it warrants it, jail time. Like, this stuff is not okay. I am trying to hypnotize you guys. Stare at the shirt. Shirt needs its own channel. It's called, this is the Loopy stream with Corey, guys. We're having a good time. Dion. Oh, okay, Dion. Yeah, that's what I said. YouTube. Or inside out. What's funny is, like, just before the stream, I thought about putting it inside out, but it's the same on the inside. It would just be uncomfortable for me and ugly for you. Oh gosh, there was a fly in here. I tried to hit my hat. Sure, fine. Slept 2 hours, so it's all good. Short Robinhood IPO. When the time comes, I will talk about what is my thoughts on the whole shorting of the IPO of Robinhood. A lot of different theories on it, but just a lot of different theories on it. I'm not going to be touching it because I have concerns. Macamania, yo, where can I buy that hat? I do have hats for merch for sale. I have it set up in a weird way that doesn't seem to be very popular. I do need to push out my merch store because I do have the way to purchase it right now is through the Patreon. You just have to sign up for the Patreon for 1 month, and then you can unsubscribe immediately. But let me get your address so I can send the hat, and it's that easy. What brokerage account is safe? So there's a lot of Kevin, there's a whole, man, I don't know where it is on Reddit, but there's a whole Reddit thread of safe institutions, right? Brokerages where you can trade, where they did not halt trading, and they will never halt trading, and realistically it's the institutions that of, it's the brokerages that you probably know of, right? And when I say know of, I mean, think of the big ones, the boring ones that no one cares about, that aren't the fun, cool, hip Robinhoods, right? And Webull. Fidelity is a very popular one that people seem to be going to, right? That's the one I'm in. I really like it. It's not as pretty as Webull or anything, but you know what? I use Webull, and I use all of this even for options, right? I see how much an option is going to roughly cost me in the app, even here, and I see how much I can make, and then I decide, okay, well, I'll go ahead and buy it over there in Fidelity, and I make my trades that way. So Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. I would just make sure, before you choose a brokerage, I would probably Google and see, did they halt trading for these stocks, right? Because if they halted trading, then you probably don't want to be in there. What's up, Prowess? Yeah, so this is a good question from Lurking. Says, so how do we get a piece of that restitution? I really don't know how to get a piece of the restitution. I'm sure we're going to see some kind of DD, something that comes out right now. And I'll talk about it on the channel, I'm sure. I just have to find it. But I'm not sure where this is going to come. And you have to keep in mind, think about how many people were affected by this. Like probably tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people that were. So, I mean, realistically, people will probably get like a $2 payout, $10 payout, which I guess is better than nothing. But it's, I wouldn't get my hopes up about this restitution, because that's how it goes typically. Oh, so Steven says 70 million is chump change. I guess. I mean, it probably is for them, right? Like, I don't know. But all right, let's go and continue. So somebody was talking about this earlier in the chat. So, or maybe not this one. What is this called? This is called the threshold thing. The threshold something. So right here, we can see the threshold. So right here. So this person right here says AMC great bounce of $55 support, now 58. This is an indication of hedge funds that are in trouble. Cannot short easily due to threshold list inclusion. So this threshold list inclusion is something that we talked about yesterday. And essentially what's happening, what happens with this, from my understanding of the threshold list inclusion, is there is a criteria for you to go on this list. And the criteria is basically you have to have, I believe it is 5 consecutive days of failure to delivers that are over 5% of your total float, something like that. It's a whole thing in there. It comes out to be about 2.5 million shares of failure to delivers a day, right? And after 5 days, then you go on this list. So from my understanding, after you're on this list, you have, I think it's 14 days in order to cover. You have to purchase all those shares or you will be forced to purchase all those shares in one lump, or you will be forced to, right? And so basically, we've had already 7 days have passed. So there are 7 more days before they will, okay, right here. They have 7 days to close their failure to delivers. Otherwise, it will be done automatically, right? And so this is what we're seeing here. Now, if they are forced to cover their failure to delivers, if they are forced to buy those shares, I mean, it's a lot. Like it's, let me see if we can do this. So it's about, I don't know, we'll say, well, I don't know if it continues to accrue, right? So for all I know, at the minimum, it's going to be let's just do 2 times, we'll do 5, at the minimum, it's this many shares. So 12 million shares. And, and what I don't know though, is if they are continuing to have these shares, accrue, right? These failure to delivers. For example, if they've been failure to delivers for, all 14 days, then imagine what that would be. So if it was, 2 point, or oh shoot, let's just say it's this really quick, for 14 days. Yeah. That's 35 million shares, right? So this is a lot of shares that could have to be purchased, and we could see a crazy move within the next 7 days. And so depending on which way this breaks, even if this goes down down to $51, you best believe I'm going to buy that dip, because you know what? I feel like there's for sure going to be some kind of crazy run coming by the end of probably next week. By the end of next week, I think there's going to be some, or maybe, for me, if I were to buy an option, I would probably go, instead of like next week, I might go just one more week out just to be safe. But either way, and let's see, if I were to buy one of these, because I did want to take a look if I did get one of these, what is my break even? See, I want my break even to be around $60 because it has been kind of hitting $60. I want something to stay within here. And this is the good point. So we have been looking a little bit at covered stock, right? So if you do think it's going to, and the reason I say 60 is because that's been the level of resistance that we've been struggling at. So I would love for this option to be here. And so if I were to get in here, you know, if it does go to this $60, anything between from where I purchased it and $60, I'll make some money, right? And I'll make some money all the way until right here. So you can see right here, I make $905, but that's the maximum I can make. So if it does like break out and go to, you know, $1,000 or something by the 16th, then I will only, at the most I can make is $900, but it is a $5,000 bet. You see that? So it's a tricky thing, but you just have to see, you know, where you think you're going to go. And technically, I guess I could buy it all the way out here at 70. Let's just theory craft for a little bit. And if it goes to 60, I see. This is very interesting. Covered calls seem pretty legit. I don't really trade these, but these graphs make it so easy to learn how to trade these things. And I actually I kind of like this one. It's pretty legit. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue. Can't Stop, Won't Stop GameStop says, apparently Robinhood only set 26 million on the side for this penalty. They weren't expecting it to be this much, but it should have been all gotten gains. It should have been the all ill-gotten gains. Right, that's a good point, right? And this is, I've mentioned this before, you know, if they're going to be fined, you know, 10% of what they made, right? Let's say off doing this, and I don't know if they made money by doing this weird stuff, but let's say they made, you know, $1 billion by doing this stuff, you know, it's worth it for Robinhood to do it, right? It's very worth it for them to do this. So that's the only thing. Like, I feel like it should be a percentage, right? A percentage that would really hurt people, right? A percentage of what they make. Think about, you know, if Jeff Bezos is, that's not Jeff Bezos, but if just Jeff Bezos was speeding down the highway and he got a $200 ticket, you think he cares about a $200 ticket? Heck no, he don't care about a $200 ticket. What he does care about is the points on his license. If he has to go to that class, this and that. That's what he cares about. And so that's what people have to think about whenever they're implementing these fines. Now, imagine if it was a percentage. If they said, you know what, a fine of this is going to be 25% of what you made in a month or whatever, you know, that, or made in a year. That seems pretty steep, but you know, you see where I'm coming from with this, right? He'll feel it. He'll be like, oh shoot, like I can't mess around. So yeah, you know, you have to deter people, and I think it needs to be a little bit stricter to deter people. Not accurately, but to deter people enough. Don't kid yourself. Apes are going to short Robinhood. And here's the deal. I'm okay with the apes shorting Robinhood. My only concern, and I guess I'll just mention it really quick because it's pretty short, but you know, with Robinhood IPO, my concern is, let's say, you know, they IPO after the apes have a lot of money, you know, we mooned and everything, everyone's a millionaire or whatever happens. And now apes take all their money and they use all their money to short Robinhood. Meanwhile, what if a bunch of whales, whales like BlackRock and whatever, come in and they're like, you know what, the big whales, you know, it doesn't take many of the whales to outdo the apes or whatever, probably, but if they all say, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and go long on this and the apes are going to go short, well, now we're in a short squeeze and they're going long, you know. It's like the opposite, we just switch places. So that's my only concern about this. You know, granted, if people are doing puts and stuff, that's a different story. You're limited in your losses whenever you do a put. But, you know, just things to think about. I overthink these things, but I just want people to be aware. I'd hate for, you know, that kind of scenario to happen. Hey, what's up, Connie? Connie says, I think if Robinhood pulled that stuff again, they'd be done for. That's a good point, right? If Robinhood did, if they decided, hey, you know what? We're going to halt trading again, so no big deal. Then you know what? I don't know what to say at that point. Like, people still stay. Like, what if people will probably still stay? I mean, I don't know what'll happen, but I think they'll probably be done. They'd be done for also. Not only would people go after them, but it would be a pattern, right? And a pattern is one thing you never want to have in any kind of legal situation. Patterns are just not good. Someone said, yo, AMC is climbing right now. AMC at $57.04. Currently up 0.64% in the after hours. So kind of where it's looking. But you know what? This is looking real nice right here in this upward direction. Oh man, I'm looking for it to break this to break this level of resistance right here. This descending level of resistance and break over and hold. That'd be very, very, very nice. If this goes, here's the deal. If this breaks bullishly, we're at $60 and we consolidate around $60 for a week or something. Those 7 days that we were talking about right here, these 7 days could be huge. This could be a big deal. This could be a bunch of, this could push us to 70 or something, right? This could push us to a new all-time high if this is actually as crazy as I think it might be. Granted, we have to keep in mind the volume, right? Volume on this stock. Look at this. Especially if it stays low volume, that could be a big deal, right? Volume currently at 58 million, which is very small. We've had much higher days, right? You know, a good day whenever we're having a solid green day up like 10% or something, usually those days are over 300 million. So imagine if they have to buy, what number did I have here? So if they are, so realistically, it's probably not this number, but this is for if they were failure to deliver for all 14 days, it would be this many shares, 35 million shares, which is more than half of what was traded today. But if it is only, let's say let's say it's 5 days, then it would be 12.5 million, which is still a pretty good number compared to the volume for today. So we could have a pretty big move if the volume stays low. And then what would happen? I think if we had a pretty big move with low volume, then boom, we have all the FOMO people hopping in, and then we have another run. And if it does go crazy, then guess what happens then? If it runs up to, like, let's say it runs to $80 or something, expires that one of these Fridays at $80 with enough options in the money, then guess what? Now we're in a gamma squeeze situation, right? And that's, you know, those are cool things that you can be looking for with these stocks. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, I don't know if there's enough of them that will expire in the money. But if it happens on the right day, it could be wild. Kaylor says, absolutely. I think that some people are going to sell out when we hit, you know, $120 and regret it. I'm holding until this thing hits the highest price imaginable. And, you know, that's a great point. Like, even $100, I talk about it all the time, right? Where I think that the psychological level, you have to remember, whenever the system, if they do get margin call, whatever happens, whenever the system is buying, they're not going to say, okay, we're going to buy here. Oh, we're just going to stop at 100 and that's it. Doesn't make any sense, right? Like, that's not the way it's going to work at all. It's going to eat right through 100, but I'm fairly certain there's going to be a level of resistance at $100, right? A purely artificial, just the apes shilling themselves level of resistance, because some people don't think it's going to go past $100, so they have their sell limit at $100. As soon as they hit $100, they're out. right? What happens if, if let's say there's not that many people, right? Maybe there's only, let's say we'll just say 1,000 people, right? And they only have, let's say 1,000 shares. Imagine if that's the sell limit, and after you break 100, if there's nothing in there and it just starts skyrocketing, imagine if you just sold at 100 and then it just gaps up to 200 within 20 minutes, right? Like, or an hour or something. Could you imagine if you just sold at $100 and it's like, well, why did I sell at $100? It was going crazy. Like, and so I think that's going to happen, right? And I think that people are going to also buy at $100, right? People are going to wish they bought at $56. People are going to wish they bought at $100. That's a real possibility of what can happen with this stock, which is why I continue to buy more when I can. It's getting rough. It's getting hard to buy though, because I don't have any more money. All right, let's go ahead and continue with some of these articles over here. So this is pretty interesting. So this person went on to E-Trade, and granted, I don't have any reason to doubt the legitimacy of it or anything like that. But E-Trade is a discount broker serving mostly retail. So just again, take this with a grain of salt. But let's take a look at this. So this person trades in E-Trade. They did a chat, it looks like, and they said, "Okay, can you just tell me the margin requirements for?" What the margin requirements are for AMC and GME, and if it's hard to borrow. This person said, I'm not sure about hard to borrow, but I can check the margin requirement for shorting them. And then, so just please note the margin requirements can change. Yes, I'm aware. For shorting GameStop, the margin requirement is 800%, and AMC, it is also 800%. Now, granted, keep in mind, this is accurate. Like, this is for mostly retail. If it is mostly for retail traders, it is what it is. Also, keep in mind that, these institutions probably have solid relationships with people they've been trading with, where they would not charge them this 800% thing. For all I know, it's, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's 100%. Maybe it's 200%. I really couldn't tell you what these hedge funds are paying, or maybe it really is just this, 19% that they're paying or something. I mean, just interesting. So again, keep this in mind whenever you're doing this. This is obviously to discourage the shorting of these stocks for whatever reason you tell me. But keep that in mind. Keep this in mind, that about that. Keep that in mind. But I thought this was extremely interesting. Let me look at the chat really quick. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and continue over here. So amazing DD won't stop getting removed. So let's take a look at this. So massive AMC news. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, right? So right here it says, so this is about the threshold securities list that we already talked about, these shares. So basically going over here, it's 0.5% of the issuer's total shares outstanding. And so we can see here, this means, so to get on this list, this means that they were unable to attain, we'll say 2.5 million plus, as this is supposed to be 10,000 shares for 5 consecutive settlement days that resulted in failure to delivers, right? So this goes back to that number that we had seen right here, about 12.5 million shares just over the 5 days. It might be more. So in other words, there are no more shares to come by to fill the failure to delivers. They can't even find 2 million of them. Now the good stuff, if you're ever going to read a post on AMC all the way, now's the time. All right. Now on to show the infinite loophole. This explains everything that's been missing, the last piece of the puzzle. Convertible notes are the key to it all. What is a convertible bond? Okay, so this is the bond one. Okay, so to make this very simple to smooth breaks apes so they can understand. If you're new to a company, and if you're a new company or a struggling company, you will create an S3. This opens up bonds for your company, aka convertible notes. The purpose for these, if you don't have a lot of liquidity as a company, or are just getting started, and you don't want to dilute your stock off the bat and get bad press, okay, blah, 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 you will instead sell these convertible notes. This gives the company money right up front. The people buying the notes will receive interest as long as they have the notes. As long as you own a note, you can convert that note into stock at any time. Let's put some wrinkles on those brains. All right. I don't know. I just kind of ended there. And that kind of goes into this one right here, right? So S3 filing withdrawal in simple terms. So I'd like simple terms, smooth brain. A blanket of 200 million shares in bonds were available that hedge funds were using to short AMC with it as if they owned them for collateral. They didn't, as if they owned. Not allowed to do that. AMC just killed that. And so I guess the S3 that we saw, this is what happened, right? Not a financial advice, guys. Keep that in mind. Personal thoughts and opinions. Thank you, Diane. So just very, 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 very interesting things about this. I'm not an expert whenever it comes to these convertible bonds or anything like that, but I thought this was pretty interesting whenever I saw this, just because interesting stuff. AMC debt recall. Adam Aaron forced. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to bring up because, we just have to be super careful. I know I like to pull up these Reddit articles, but I do like to preface them by saying, not financial advice, and that, hold out for the validity of these, right? Because sometimes people get super excited about things. We've seen things that were like top voted, big deal, and they weren't exactly what we thought they were, right? They were debunked by people like David Lauer, who has been in the industry and said, actually, no, this isn't exactly what you guys think it is. Good try, but no. And so that's kind of what happened here. So this person, this is not exactly correct. Okay. So this person's original title was AMC debt recall, Adam Aaron forcing shorts to cover via debt note recall, registration for withdrawal, S3 filing explanation. Okay. So they did have to update the title because it was actually 600 million AMC debt settled with Silver Lake. And so here's like an update issued, and basically, keeping in mind that these S3 filings, right? A lot of people were saying, no, this is my same office. The S3 filing is that everyone was saying, oh, they took everyone was saying that they took the 25 million shares off the table. And I think that's what people were saying about this, but that doesn't seem, I don't know about the 25 million shares, but it seemed like people were trying to say the S3 that was filed was for the 25 million shares. And if it's different, then let me know. But it does seem like, we ended. Okay, nice. I'll check in a second. But it does look like, the S3 was more so for the convertible bonds and all that stuff, right? And so it says, I found new information that unfortunately renders this DD post partially inaccurate, and I've worked to correct it. DD is still bullish, but unfortunately not to the degree it was previously. I'm sorry. So, and I appreciate this person updating the post and kind of apologizing. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Let's see if they have a TLDR, maybe an updated TLDR that is helpful. Let's see. Hold invalid. Okay. Oh, they even left their invalid stuff. Wow. You know what? Old invalid DD. I'm actually not going to. Oh, okay. AMC sold a convertible debt security to Silver Lake worth a $600 million loan. Originally, I believe this was being bought back by AMC. However, that is not the case. Silver Lake exercised their right to convert these securities and sold them into the market during the first squeeze on January 27th. Oh, and AMC went to $20. Unfortunately, this does not affect shorts in any way. Very interesting. AMC does not need to pay the 600 million, freeing it from a considerable amount of debt, which is pretty bullish, right? That's pretty awesome. It's very awesome. Very, very, very cool. Very good stuff. All right, and so that's realistically, that's kind of everything I wanted to talk with you guys about. I know my streams have been a little bit shorter lately. It's mostly because, you know what? I think we're consolidating, like, well, I don't think, and we can see, right? Looks like, oh, by the way, AMC did end the day at $57.02, up 0.60% in the after hours. But basically what I'm saying is, you know, I know my streams have just been a little bit shorter, and the reason why is because, you know, I don't want people to get too fatigued with what's going on, right? I want to hop on, I want to present you guys the information, and realistically, most people know the information, right? No, most people know what's going on. Most people know what's happening, and you know, there's little pieces of information that come out additionally that I just want to share with people, right? New Reddit articles that, or, you know, posts that are interesting or might be relevant. I just want to present these to you guys and just you know, let you guys know I'm still here, I'm still holding, and you know, in my opinion, it's still on, you know, and it's always fun to hang out with you guys. But you know, what I'm not trying to do is stay on here for 2 hours and stuff, and especially whenever it's like a very, very consolidation day. It's been consolidation for a while, and so I'm not trying to just waste y'all's time. I want you guys to just know what's going on, quick update, quick this and that. It's like a quick little DD touch base every single day, hanging out with each other, and seeing the good stuff, right? And whenever we do have some crazy moves, some crazy bullish momentum, we get a lot of apes who hop on board. I want them to be able to hop in here, and I want them to be able to say, like, ask questions. You guys know the DD, right? You guys know what's going on, and you guys can share it with them and say, hey, like, here's the dealio. Here's the DD. Welcome to the chat, and I'm talking to them. You guys are talking to them, and you know, I want people to just know what's going on, have a place, have a community. And I know that, you know, for us, most of us work during the day. We can't watch like Trey's morning live stream and stuff. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. But I see some questions in the chat. I'll read the questions in the chat, and we'll take a look. So let's start here. I guess it's supposed to be all right. We don't need to spam, man. No need to spam, Junior. Loving my AMC. Okay, so let's get caught up here. Can you guys talk about the consolidated automatic trading system and the dates being pushed? I am feeling super bullish about tomorrow diamond also. I mean, this is a nice little setup, right? It's just kind of like pushing on this level of resistance, right? This bullish, in the bullish direction, right? It's just like up here, like, ooh, I'm ready to push through. So it like bounced off of here, and it's like it looks like it's gonna freaking rock and roll tomorrow. I hope it does. But I'm extremely bullish on tomorrow, especially with the DD going on. But yeah, I'm like really bullish on tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but I'm with you. I guess Scrappy, can you talk about, I mean, the consolidated automated trading system, the dates being pushed? I don't think I fully understand your question. Automated trading system. My dude, all right. Now I am gonna skip your question. I'm asking you to elaborate on the question. What could the hedge funds do to get out of this? We'll answer Terry's question. Asked once, asked kindly. A very clear and concise question. Thank you, Terry, for your question. So Terry says, What can the hedge funds do to get out of this? So Terry, I really think, I truly think that they're stuck, right? I think that they're stuck in this position, right? And the position that they're stuck in is they try to short the stock, right? They try to short it back here, back here. We can even look at it on Ortex. They've been trying to, their average position is probably, let's say it's $20, right? Which I think it's much lower than $20, right? Let's say their average position is $20. So now what? They're in the wrong direction, right? They should have got out at $5 freaking, right? They should have got out all the way back there, all the way back here. Well, let's move it this way. All the way back here at $5. They should have got out after we ran up over here to 20 bucks. That was their exit. But what did they do? They got greedy. They kept shorting. And then boom, there was a news catalyst or whatever happened and started running up, right? And, it went up and down, up and down. It was a battle. It was a long battle. But it's not going to... They're in a bad position. So I think what happened was they were hoping that the apes were going to get bored, get tired, get out, get upset, and just get fatigued and quit. Okay, they thought they were going to quit, but guess what? The apes did not quit. They kept on holding, which is not what traditional retail investors would probably do in this kind of situation. But it just was bad. So realistically, I think the only way they win in this situation, personally, this is no advice or anything, this is my personal thoughts, is the only way they win is if the apes shield themselves, sell out, get bored, get fatigued, and just quit for no reason. Because these guys are in a bad position. And so they had their chance to get out. They had plenty of opportunity, especially whenever it started to run. They should have got out. And he's out. And he's out of there. Scrappy, all you had to do was wait for me to finish this thought, and I would have answered your question so happily. But your impatience is, look at you now. Man, I feel bad too, because I wanted to answer your question. Even, man, that's unfortunate. Sorry, Scrappy. I'm sorry that you did that to yourself, but all right. But anyways, so yeah, I really personally don't think that there's anything that they can do, Terry, to get themselves out. He's gone. Sorry, Scrappy. Gosh, I tried. My mods, they're crazy. Those get you out. But all right. And so that's really what I think, Terry. Like, honestly, just they had so many opportunities. I think they're oh, he was a bot. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Thank you. Well, and here I am apologizing to a bot. I guess, it takes one to know one. I'm a bot. They're a bot. It was a troll. Oh, okay. That's all right. So anyways, so that's what I think. I mean, I really think they have all this opportunity to cover. They decided they're not going to cover. Whether they're greedy, they have a big ego, who knows what it might be, right? Or maybe they've been in this kind of situation before, and they were able to shake the people out of their position because maybe they didn't know that there was an actual short squeeze going on. Maybe they made the stock not look so appetizing. Who knows what they did? But that's that. So I'll kind of leave that there, because I think I'm kind of talking in circles at this point. But these guys just, I truly think they just messed up. They tried something, it didn't work out, and now they're stuck. What's up, Diamond? Now they're stuck. Rania. Corey, hey Corey. See how annoying that is? Honestly, what's sad is, like, maybe because you're you, but I see you guys, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, I'm happy to help. What do you need? Rania, Corey, words of wisdom about Mayrin. Mayrin is, here's the deal. Here's the deal, That's what I say. really not looking too good for the people of Mayrin. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Bambino says, and emphasize on it, Corey. We know how long they've been there from the date of their shorts. It was like $10. We've seen more. Yeah, we've seen it, right? We can see it. Or I was being lazy for absolutely no reason, but we can see here their average loan, average day of their loan or whatever at this point has been average day is 30 days. So 30 days ago, where was the stock? So we'll just say 530. So AMC 530. We'll go to the 1 month. Should be around right here, right? Yeah. So, oops, I moved that thing. And so 530. And you know what's interesting is this continues to move because before it was around $10. Now, 530 was around. Oh, there was not 530. It was. Oh, okay, it was around here. Sure, we'll call it 28. We'll call it $30 for them. Sure, they're still in a bad spot. Like, not good. Not good. Viento says, what's good, my man? What's the price prediction for tomorrow? So tomorrow, I think that realistically, I really don't do price predictions, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, Diamond knows. I really don't do price predictions, but I look at the technical breakouts, right? Either break for the bullish or the bearish. We break for the bullish, probably a test of 60. We'll see if we can break through with some kind of momentum. If it's bearish, realistically, I think we'd probably go around $53. And if we break below 53, we're looking at $51. And if we're bullish, it's kind of like $3 increments is something that I've kind of been noticing a little bit for the different levels of support. Probably coincidental, just a little small thing that I noticed here. Just the $3 level changes, but that's what we're looking at, right? And so I'm just going to continue to wait and watch and see which way it's going to go. Ain't no problem, Terry. Hopefully I made sense. I know it's kind of babbling and going all over the place, but hopefully that made a little bit of sense. Kind of. Corey, what about GME? Let's talk about GME, and then I see you right there, Mustard, DARE. We'll take a look there. In just a second. So GameStop, here's the deal. GameStop is rough right now. I'm sure, actually, you know what? We can see different levels of, let's do a little bit of TA so I can put this kind of, we'll put it around, maybe around here. So I think there's a few different microscopic levels of resistance and support. GameStop has just been going sideways, right? Sideways recently. But even then you can see in here, I don't know if I really like this bottom level so much, but I'll kind of leave it for now. And then, you know what? I'll draw one more bottom one down here. We'll do it around there. But anyway, so GameStop right now is just loving, it's hugging this 212 level of resistance and now support, resistance. I mean, it's been loving this 212 level just by itself, right? Now, I think what's going to happen is for tomorrow, again, just not having those not predicting what the price is going to be, looking for these technical breakouts, these technical trends. Looking at the technical trend, we can see right here that right now it is using 212 as a level of support, right? So now let's see if it pushes up to 217 and breaks through here. Realistically, there's a few different levels in here that we'll have to do technical analysis in, but it's hard to see a little more microscopically. But if we were to go a little more macroscopically, I would love to see a break over 224 and then another break. Man, 224, would that just bring you straight to 224? Man, I think a break over 224 is going to bring you to 239, honestly. And so just looking for those different levels of technical support and resistance. And if we break down negatively, then we'll see if we'll test this as a level of resistance again, or maybe we'll break down to 207. If we break 207, we're looking at a pretty steep drop to 198. And that's what I'm looking at. I did say I was going to answer somebody's question here. Mustard. Well, let's look at DARE. Dare Bioscience. So I really don't know much about this Dare Bioscience, but you know what? This has already been like retracing pretty harshly. I mean, if we did a Fibonacci retracement here, we can see we'll do it about to there. The retracement is pretty strong, right? Pretty harsh. We'll call it about 70% sure retracement, which is pretty not my favorite. I'm worried that this is now a dump, right? I'm scared. It's already like pump. I'm worried that this is going to be the dump now. And you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I really don't know too much about this. But pharmaceutical, I do like pharmaceuticals a lot. Maybe they have some bullish news, you know, and it kind of is calming down. Hopefully it'll bounce off of this like $1.60 or something, and it'll consolidate. But you know what, if they have a product that is like actually good, if they have a product, you know, whatever they're working on that is actually like helpful, then this could be you know, you'll be waiting for another breakout. So if it does retrace and get down here, or if it retraces all the way down here, you know, it could be around 175 or $1.75, or maybe even down here at $1.60. If it's anywhere, then and it consolidates, you would be looking for another breakout, right? And if it breaks out, then well, if it consolidates for a while, then you can be looking for a breakout, right? It's not like the company went bad all of a sudden. It's not like their trial like sucks all of a sudden. But what you can do is you can look at it, and then if it consolidates for a while, I think that's bullish, right? Because it just found a new floor, if you want to call it. Just respecting it. And then the next time a news catalyst comes saying, hey, we're going to phase 3 trials or whatever they're doing, then it's going to run up. And realistically, on these bio ones, what I like to do is I actually like to hop out, right? I would like to hop out because they usually run up and then they'll retrace after the hype dies down. This is a buy the news, sell the hype situation. And when it consolidates, after, oh my gosh, there's a flyer on my face. But that's what I like to look at. Okay, we'll take a look at a few of these. We'll take a look at 2 more. We have GTT, and I'll take a look at MMAT for a second. Oh gosh. Okay, GTT. So GTT, oh my gosh, this thing is a mess. So what is it? What do these guys do? Communications, technical, okay, software and stuff. Actually, I didn't look at the financials for this one just yet. Financials, okay, I can't see any profit here. And I do want to take a look at, well, I don't care about the analysts, I care about the institutions. 7.33%, not super high, but that's all right. GTT. All right, so GTT, let's go ahead and take a look at what they do, their profile. So services and consulting. So technology, right? IT, that's fine. Let's see what their profit looks like. Gross profit. Man, this company's doing very, 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 very well. Doubling basically almost every single year. Is it doubling? Almost doubling. They're I guess up 50% each year so far. Except for except for 2019. I don't know why 2020 isn't in here just yet. Institutions. Oh my gosh. Institutions love this thing. I love this thing. This is looking solid, right? Granted, keep in mind it dropped a little bit. Let's look at this on a 6-month chart. And so 6 month now, you know, you have to know your stock. I don't know what the heck has been going on with this thing, right? This thing has just been all over the place, but you know, institutions seems to love it. So you know what? I love it. Now it depends what they're doing in their profile. I see like IP protocol, or IP protocol. that's just an IP. 2-layer Ethernet, WAN solutions. Here's the deal. Like people are always going to need these kinds of, whether it's just internet type services, networking services, cloud networking services. The only thing is it's pretty, I don't know if it's actually saturated, but think how many people are doing cloud network services. Everybody's doing that these days. Now, what is their gimmick? What is their hook? Who do they have? But you know what? Either way, I can look at this and I can say institutions love the stock. You know what I love? Institutions that love the stock. Because you know what the institutions are in here to do? Make freaking money. They have one goal. They don't care about anything about the company. They want to make money. They don't care about, that's all they care about. So this one just based on the sentiment of it, I love it. And here, you know, again, back to what I talked about, it breaks out, consolidates, breaks out, consolidates. Looks like it's in a consolidation phase. You know, an early part of the consolidation phase, it might continue to drop, but you know, this is a pretty solid consolidation phase. I do like how the freaking institutions are all over this, but really not sure which way it is it's going to run. I mean, from a technical standpoint, it looks like it probably is consolidating here. But look how it ran last time, right? Ran all the way up here, and then it retraced so freaking hard, like a harsh retracement. So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at MMAT. Metamaterials. Oh, I love materials. I freaking love materials. What is this gap up? Are you kidding me? From, we'll call it $5 all the way up to $9. What? What the heck happened there? Is this a reverse split? That's weird. I don't know what happened here, but all right, let's take a look here at the profile. Energy, fossil fuels. Oh, I freaking love it. Formerly, oh, this is Torchlight Energy. Oh, okay. So they had something happen. Yeah. So these guys had something happen to them, right? Where they were absorbed, it looks like, or whatever happened. Bought out. So I love advanced materials, metamaterials, functional surfaces. I mean, I love this so much because you know what? Right here, the company's platform is used to develop products for aerospace, defense, automotive, energy, healthcare, consumer, everything you've ever looked at. Yeah, merger. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, reverse split. Okay, see, perfect. So, wrinkle brain. I love all of these industries. This is everybody's industries and everybody's freaking life. Energy. This is just based on just what the company is. I mean, I just love that industry so much. It looks like I don't know if these are kind of weird because of the merger or what happened here, but profit looking a little bit weird. Granted, maybe and again, I always say if their profit looks weird after they've been doing semi okay, you know, what happened? You know, was this the pandemic that messed them up? Did they spend a lot of money investing in themselves? Were they doing this? So reverse split Friday, merger Friday. Oh, okay, so that's what happened. So, you know, different things in there, but let's go ahead and continue over here. Institution ownership 16.99, which I feel like is pretty low considering what they're doing. Pretty strange. I wonder if people are a little concerned about the industry, or maybe it's the company or the merger or something. But that's pretty interesting. The chart setup is kind of weird, right? After you see this, now the chart setup is a little off because it's all shifted in a direction, right? So technically, this is still, I think you could just slide this down and it's still like kind of consolidating down here. So I guess you just divide this by 2, right? Which would be, what is it? 3.75 or something. So $3.75 is what we'll say compared to what it was previously. So it has gone down, right? This stock is not looking the best, but I do love it whenever a stock consolidates like that, because you know what? I'm such a bull that I always feel like a reverse split sounds like a football play. It does, doesn't it? I'm pretty bullish whenever these kinds of things happen because the consolidation is what I like, especially with these kinds of companies. You know, all these companies are going green. They need these, they need the materials. They need all this stuff going on, like aerospace and defense. Aerospace is not going anywhere. Defense is not going anywhere. Automotive is getting so crazy with what's going on. Now, my question is, you know, are they actually... I don't know too much about the company, because if they're just getting the products and getting all this, like if they're doing the raw materials and selling all the raw materials to these people or whoever they need to sell it to, I absolutely love that. There's a few things I don't know about this, but you know, I'll defer to you guys. If you guys think it's going to be pretty legit, then I'm a bull, is what I'll say. I'll leave it at that. My mod asked me, Lee, I got you, Lee. We'll take a look at this. This will be really the last one. DRYS. Dry ships. What is happening? What is happening? Was this a split of some kind? No, this is probably a gap up, because it's not even, you know what I mean? Was it a split? I don't know what happened here. I don't know why it's all looking weird. Something happened here. Some delisted. Oh, is it delisted? their window antenna. They may sell it to Tesla. This is weird. I don't know why it's delisted. I got you, Alan. We'll look at that, and that's the end. It's really the end. GETT. And I'll leave this pulled up here for you, the short interest and stuff. Oh my gosh. Short interest is huge. It's pretty crazy. Utilization. These guys are getting ready for a freaking move, I wonder. They had their move. This is very interesting. Short interest is going back up. Dang. Get my wheels spinning. Look up dries, but for the entire stock history. Okay. Dries for the entire stock history. Oh, see, this is weird. I don't know what happens here, right? So I don't fully understand why these look like this. It doesn't really make any sense to me. I've seen other stocks that look like this. I'll give you a good one. This one's for free. JNUG. This one looks kind of similar. See, 43,000. Similar kind of situation, and now it's here. Now, I don't know. I don't understand what happened here. This one is much crazier, but I don't fully understand. Oh, whoops. Why this is like that, though. So I can't say that, but I don't think it's what everyone thinks it is. But I can't say what it is. But yeah, JNUG is something similar that I actually watched previously. But it had this other kind of move. It's just weird. I don't fully understand. But yeah. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. I'm gonna eat some din. But I'll catch you guys later. All right. Good. Some interesting plays here, interesting stocks. Hopefully, I helped you guys out a little bit with some of your plays, some of your thoughts. But always remember, make your own decisions. I'm gonna be here. I am gonna try. If you give me a stock, I'm gonna try to shill you a little bit, give you some good, give you some bad. But just keep in mind that's my goal is just try to help you make a decision, right? But you make your own decisions. But if I can challenge you and you can support it, then that's great. If you can't, then see if that's something you want to be invested in. All right. But all right, y'all have a fan freaking tastic night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.